around everywhere.
Okay, this says we're live on Facebook as well.
We're famous.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
And that means folks can see this video at a later time when they visit our LifeQuest Facebook page, and they do. We've been seeing folks look at these videos 2 in the morning.
A burglar breaks in and they're like, let me pull up that self-defense video.
Yeah, I mean, they are viewed quite frequently after the fact. So and then on our website, you'll be on our website as well.
Nice.
Well, for our class, that's good because, in person, we just see once a week and we wouldn't see them again for another 7 days. And they're like, what was that one thing again? This way, they can just look it up.
Right.
Watch it as many times as you want. Practice on loved ones.
So I'm hoping you'll tell them a little bit about your fall class as well.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And then just to note for the fall, the way they'll get your class, they'll pay the registration fee, and then they'll get a link to how to find all of the Zoom numbers. And so, or the classes will take them right into the Zoom class, the email will. So it's a little bit different. We're not making it Fort Knox, but we're also not making it free and out there for everybody because people will have paid a registration, and so it'll be on a private Facebook group, and it'll be on a link to an email website where they can get right into your Zoom class from the link.
So the recording of that then, after the class takes place and it goes up, then can anybody access that video? Nope,
No,
you still have to be signed up to see it.
Help. They have to have what?
No, only registered members will get to watch the archived videos.
Okay. They have to have that password and all that. Okay,
Yeah.
good.
And they'll get all that information once they register. They'll get an email that'll explain how to get to it. We don't want to make it so complicated that people can't find it, but we don't want to make it where just anybody can take it because it's for registered members. They paid to take your class, and so they.
It's pretty easy. I mean, so far, just to click on the link and put in the password, I'm sure will no longer be LifeQuest.
No, they'll get the password when they register.
Yeah. It's going to be LMNOK 124 Pi Umple and dog with an ampersand.
People be taking a picture of it and like pulling it up on their phone to look.
Okay.
What I do.
No more jokes. I'm going to let you guys.
They might pass it to a friend that didn't register, and we can't prevent everything, but we can't prevent people from walking into Second Presbyterian Church either and taking a class. I mean, we're not trying to make it, just ridiculously complicated, and secure, but we're trying to make it where it is for registered members, available just to registered members. Okay, well, it's 11, and I am so grateful for y'all to be here today. Yeah. So the whole purpose of our fall preview hour is to give a little snippet, a little commercial about 4 different classes that will be on our fall term program. And so we are excited to have Mark and Gretchen Nunez here today, and they're going to give a little 45 minutes or so, a snippet of what they're going to cover in the fall. And I'm just really, really appreciative of y'all being here. Your class is unlike anything else we've ever taught, and you two are so unique and wonderful, and we're so glad to have you back.
Well, thank you.
And it's going to be interesting doing it virtually because
of course,
it's a very
yes,
hands-on thing to begin with. So it's going to be interesting. But
well, tell us a little bit about yourselves first.
Okay, so for those of us who don't already know us, I'm Gretchen Nunez, and I started out as a school counselor at Bryant High School, where my parents taught. And so then I decided, instead of using that psychology degree and philosophy degree for that, I became a personal trainer. So I can help people and not be stressed all the time. So I became a Zumba instructor, personal trainer, and when I was in California, I was working at a fitness studio, and there was a martial arts instructor in the basement. So they asked me, we're going to do a Christmas spectacular. We need a victim to play to play the part so that you can learn self-defense, show what he does. And I said, sure, I'll do it, never having done it. So he taught me how to flip him. So I elbowed him, flipped him, and that's how we met. So so that's my background. So
Okay, my background is well, first of all, I'm 7th degree black belt, hopefully soon to be 8th. Going out to California to see if I can get recertified for that. I've been doing it for 45 years, training kids, adults, and just about everybody that wants to come around and do it. We do cage fights. We were doing cage fights out in California. We were the first ones to come up with that. We teach Kempo, Hawaiian Kempo at Parker System, Jiu-Jitsu, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. My instructor is Aloysius Silva. Krav Maga, we've taught Krav Maga. That's Israeli military arts, and a lot of other stuff like
it's a
that.
lot. So MMA is, I'm sure you've heard, MMA is mixed martial arts. So it's as many different kinds of martial arts
as you bring into this the program.
So now we've moved to, since we had been invited to Life Quest 3 semesters ago. I don't know. So now it's more doing self-defense, using the techniques we have. So it's not about beating somebody up in a cage or whatever. It's about, especially now with the way things are, there's a lot of anger going on. There's a lot of, people very desperate, whether it's money or just being heard, whatever. And this population, the senior population, is vulnerable because, for one, if you've been inside for quite a while, trying to get back into things and in society the way it is right now, you just don't know what's going to happen. I mean, you don't know to begin with. So this is good all the time, even after all of this is over. But just to really be aware of who's around you, what you can do. Really, the best defense is if you can get verbal defense first to try to talk your way out of it, or if they're just wanting your money or your purse, throw it and just go if you're outside. But there's so many different scenarios that, it could be how to take care of yourself in your home, how to take care of yourself at the grocery store, all of that. We had someone last semester, Crystal, who she was grabbed from behind at the Sam's Club. And so she came into our class after that, wanting to learn some techniques. So we'll discuss that kind of thing, and what being aware of your surroundings really means. We hear it all the time, but what does it really look like? It's not just, oh, let me look around. Okay, I'm good. So through our classes, we tend to talk about little information, articles we find, talking about people who've burglarized homes, what they've looked for. So how to make your home look lived in, even if you're not there, or even if you're just by yourself, how to change different habits. So we'll talk about information. We always show techniques, self-defense techniques. We'll show you a few today. And for fun, how to kick and punch. You may not want to kick and punch, but you might be in a scenario where kicking is how you're going to have to get away, how to get them away. We're talking about social distancing. We've been doing that for how many years? So keep out of my personal space. But it's how to do that. We use cane techniques, so cane fighting. So he takes his cane fighting skills to show if you're walking with a cane, how can you use it? I carry a Kubotan when I go for a run, which is basically like it's an inflatable metal stick that you can flick out and use that for, dogs if they attack me, which I haven't been attacked. Here's cane.
my fighting cane.
So if you can see the end, he carved
fangs on
fangs. So if you hook someone, yeah, it's gonna hurt.
And also I've cut my grooves in it, so when I hold on to it.
So if you can see where he carved certain things, that's so he knows where to place his fingers to get the best grip.
Best grip for the appropriate strike. So, and you can even take this on an airplane. If you have your weapon with you all the time. And it's just very handy, very handy.
So, I mean, but again, we're not all about like go kung fu fighting everybody and all that. This is to just get away and to get them away with no one getting hurt. That's the best idea for this. But if you had to, then we show you what you can do from that.
You can even push a person away from you with that. So it
I'll move
separates,
away if somebody does.
it separates you from them, and
You know.
that way you can get away.
So first I want to, before we show anything, just see if anybody has any questions about anything about our class, like what, because that's our class structure. I mean, we show various grabs, and if you're on the ground, how to get out of it.
That's
If you're in a car, how to get out of that situation. We can use our home, you know, trying to think outside the box here, what we couldn't do in the classroom. We're in our home. So we could show you some scenarios in a home of what you could do. So there's a lot to pull from with this.
I'm wondering if anybody's in the class right now with us has been in a scary situation or has had a friend or neighbor or family member, you know, be in a situation that they might want Gretchen and Mark to kind of workshop, talk
Yeah, and that's
through.
the best way, is hearing scenarios and then figuring that out. Anybody? Hey, my knitting buddy. Okay, Rena. I don't get to see everybody at once, so I'm like, oh, hey.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Okay, you can't hear me?
Yes.
I can.
Sometimes my mic is on and sometimes it's off. I can never tell by the little icon. It lies to me. Yeah, I've been attacked from behind before,
Okay.
and mostly I just kept
Did
talking
they bear
to the guy
hug? How?
like this.
Oh, around the
And then
neck.
Yeah, and at this point, I was carrying something and I didn't know to do this or yank that or pull fingers or whatever. So
Right.
I just kept talking till he dragged me back in the alley and started to tie me up and somebody came along. So
Oh,
Wow.
after that, I took a self-defense class. And then the next time somebody approached me, they were from the front. And I just screamed my head off and shoved my book bag in his face and left. So
Yeah.
yeah.
that's enough.
Yeah, well, we always say, like in classes, don't give up your back. So in that situation, they were at your back because they know that's an easy way to get a hold of somebody. So we can show, like, let's say, okay,
Okay.
easiest
Right away in
way.
here.
Was it like this?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. It's a bigger thing. However you want to-
So if I want to get somebody that's grabbing me right here, first thing don't want to get choked. Okay.
Right.
So from here, I can just toss them this way,
Hold and twist.
hold and twist, put them on the ground, and then take off. You don't want to stand there fighting with them because chances are you're going to lose that battle.
Yeah,
But-
yeah, he was much bigger than I was.
Just to get,
Well, and here's something interesting, much bigger than his. It doesn't take much to do what he just did. That
Mhm.
it really doesn't take much. It's all about manipulation of joints and muscles.
yes,
There's pressure points and all of that.
if I get it like that,
So always try to get your chin tucked,
so you
Yeah.
have your breathing.
and then you put your hip is what's popping. And I can pull him down. Like here, I can grab his hand. You can't see it now, but I can keep on going and grab his hand and drag him over. But you mainly want to you have adrenaline going, use it. So
Yeah.
just always remember, tuck your chin, because that'll keep them
Gotcha.
from getting here, and just pull and then use your hip
To
to pull
throw.
them down.
Okay,
I mean, and every scenario is going to be different. So, I mean, he might
Right.
do something else. So that's why we try to show as many different techniques. And the more you practice it, this is the most important thing.
Practice.
The way you practice and the more you practice, it'll happen like that, because your brain's just going to kick in. You don't have to think about it. Because a lot of people just go and just
And
freeze up.
freeze up. And they don't do anything.
Yeah, and that's not fight. Like, do as much as
Fight
you can. If you're
and flight.
facing somebody, like, one is if you can get around to where you could even turn around. If you hold your fingers like that,
Mhm.
jab as hard as you can right here.
In the throat.
They'll stop.
They'll back
They'll-
off.
Like that, and some of the, I know, I don't want to get into the whole discussion and political stuff about, passing someone out. But if you're trying to defend yourself, if somebody's attacking you, that is one of the techniques we use, or how to get out of that.
And your voice, scream out to everything.
I'm going to go down fighting. I may not win it, but everybody's going to know about it. So, and I mean, just when they've interviewed people who have attacked people, whether in the street or break into their home, one of the things is they go for what's easy. So if you're easy about it and quiet and, that's what they want. But if you put up a fight and you start punching and scratching and jabbing and screaming, that's hard. They just want to get what they want and go.
Exactly.
So that's why they pulled you into an alley or off to the side, because then nobody can see. It's easy, and sometimes you've got to just fill out the situation. Obviously you made it. So, thank goodness. But, sometimes going with it does work. You got to feel the situation. I mean, if he has a weapon, we don't invite you to try to take him off with the weapon.
That just escalates the situation if he has a weapon.
He knows how to take a weapon away, but we're not really teaching that, because you've got to really know what you're doing to do that. That could turn out really badly if you can't get that.
Right.
But being aware of surroundings is the number one, because then you can get out of a situation like that. Crystal, like she said, she was loading up the back of her truck, or car or whatever, from grocery shopping at Sam's Club, and it was 2:00 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's the scary nighttime thing. And she had seen him walk, and she kind of thought, that's a little odd. But that's the moment that you need to listen to, because that moment of, that's weird, that's your instinct telling you something's off. So really be on hyper alert. But she just said, he just walked on. So
always follow your instinct.
Being trusting about it. And then he doubled back, and that's when he grabbed her from behind, pushed her, grabbed her purse, and he got in a car and took off. So he just wanted to be gone. So she was lucky in that. But you've got to look, if something seems odd, walk to a security guard, walk off. I mean, if you feel uncomfortable, I do that. I've walked out and I look and see ahead of time who's around my car. Where's my direct line to get there? Don't unlock all of the car doors at once, because somebody could get in on the other side. I mean, you can't know every scenario, but you can sure protect yourself. When you get in your car, lock the car door, check your phone messages and all that at another destination, not sitting in your car. Don't balance your checkbook in your car, because you're not paying attention. You see people walking and talking on their phone, not paying attention. Some other interviews of guys that have mugged people, they were given a video, all of them, these are prisoners, they were all given a video individually, the same video, of people walking down this one street, just on the sidewalk. And they said, who would you pick out to be the one to attack or try to rob them? Every single one individually picked the exact same people every time.
So they're looking for a certain person and the way they're carrying themselves. If you're looking down on the ground and just walking like this, not paying attention to your surroundings, you're a target.
That's one of the ones.
You are a target.
So one thing it's hard to teach virtually, but you can practice, is walking with confidence. Don't walk with your head down, looking on your phone, not paying attention to anything.
Head up, looking around and watching.
I tell my mom that all the time. You got to walk up, back straight as much as you can, head forward, look at the person. You don't have to stare them down, like don't get them all aggravated, but just look so they know you see them.
And they don't want you to see them, because now you can identify them. You can see who they are.
And you're ready.
And you're ready. And they don't want that. They want a sneak up surprise, and so they don't see. So they don't.
Not seeing myself.
They
Okay.
won't see who's doing it, and they'll get away. So you want to always look at who's around you. Sort of like now, 6 feet away.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little easier right now because everybody's a little more not wanting to touch people. So it's a little more obvious if somebody's coming right up to you, they're probably not gonna have something good for, because everybody's pretty much keeping away. But I mean, you just don't know what's going on. So does anybody else have any
Other question?
scenarios or anything right now? I mean, and be thinking about it over the summer, because I mean, this is for the class for the fall. We'll have 8 weeks, right? Leah, 6 to 8 weeks. Okay.
Yes.
So, I mean, we'll still have 8 full classes to address any kind of issues, you know, and who knows in 2 months how everything's going to be.
And-
I mean,
and-
it's changing every
And
week.
there's a lot of, we've got a lot of older people that come to the class and they're not afraid to do it. They're in there for it. They want to know how to learn how to protect themselves. They want to know what to do and how to do it and how to get away. Because that's what you want to do. You don't want to stand there and fight with the guy. You want to get out of there and you have a purse, throw that way, and you run this way.
Yeah, anything we show, like we're going to show some wrist grabs. We stand there because we're trying to show the technique, but once you get out of it, go.
Yeah,
Don't just stand there because they're going to be like,
scream, yell,
you know,
whatever you got to do.
yeah, but usually it's just to get away.
Yeah.
I have a
And-
question for you.
Okay.
This is Gina.
Okay.
During this time, a lot of people are ordering groceries to be delivered home, or people are approaching your house more, you get deliveries more. How can
Right.
you help your homes feel safe?
Well, I mean, if you're at home and you're having delivered, what I would do is tell them to leave it on the front porch and they can walk off. Like I get Domino's delivery and I just tell them, leave it on that. They have a little cardboard stand. I don't know if you've done it recently, but they have a cardboard stand that says contactless delivery and they set it on top of that and they walk off.
Yeah.
So that way I don't even have to, they're at their car
You don't
before
have
I
to
even
deal with
open the
them.
door.
That way you don't have to deal with them.
You know, if you're by yourself, that would be the best case scenario, unless you get to know the person maybe that delivers it. I mean, we're pretty local, so
And a
If
dog
it's-
helps.
dog helps, yeah. Some people have had recordings of dogs in their home so that people think they have a dog.
Yeah,
But just leave it out. I mean, leave it outside till they leave and then get it. I mean, that cuts out anyone being at your front door. I mean, step out, look around, or let your neighbors know, you know, or let somebody else know that can be aware I'm going to be having a delivery. So, I mean, we know our neighbors, so we're watching. If something were to start happening, we could be out the door and help them out. So, you know, if it's a regular thing, do that outside of just waiting for them to leave. I mean, chances are they're employed by somewhere. They're probably not going to try to attack you because, I mean, that's their job.
Yeah.
So it's pretty obvious of who they are and they
Big
would get in
trouble
trouble for that.
that
But yeah, I mean, most delivery people I've had
They're real nice. Yeah.
have been pretty good.
Well,
but-
okay, so if you live in a neighborhood and you've noticed an increase of delivery people, how can you tell if someone is impostoring a delivery person and trying to go to scope out a house? And how do you watch your neighborhood, I guess?
Well, I mean, when I usually work, I mean, you see the UPS truck or the postal truck and you see them get out. So, I mean, that would be a pretty intricate setup to be able to come out of a vehicle. But there's some that I've seen that deliver packages, but they're using like a budget van and it's a legitimate like delivery thing. But it was weird to me to see a budget rental van delivering packages, but it happens. And I don't know if they make them aware of that already or what, but usually, because they're the legit people right now have been told, you don't knock on the door and wait for them to get something because it's decreasing contact. So my guess is if somebody comes in a uniform that doesn't have a lanyard, doesn't have anything that says they're from UPS or US Postal Service, it's just like a purple shirt and black shorts. And they come up and they're knocking on the door waiting for you, they may not be legit because the ones that do know to deliver and just leave. So,
And there's some people that do just walk around the neighborhood with a truck, with a board, trying to get information from people and stuff like that. Just don't even answer the door. Just tell them you're not interested.
because what some of them said, this same interview with these people who broke into homes, they would kind of scope it out first. So what they would do is they pretend they're selling insurance or magazines or candy
Right.
bars or whatever. They just want to see who's there, what time you're there, kind of get a little peek into what things look like. Do you have anything by the door, weapon wise or whatever, they just want to get kind of a layout. And that's when we say somebody had the great idea. I think maybe Gina, you brought it up yesterday, of getting a big like size 13 size work booth that looks used and set it out on your front porch. Because then they're gonna think a
There's
big guy's
There's
there.
a guy that lives there.
So they're probably, and they will look, they want easy. And if they're not sure if there's some big guy there that's either doing work or a son or grandson or husband or whatever, they don't want to take that chance. They want one person that's not going to be able to defend themselves. Have timed lights if you're gone. So, and if you can't have somebody to house it
And
for
always
you,
have your neighbors tell, if you're leaving,
tell somebody.
tell somebody, tell them we're gonna be gone for so-and-so amount of days, and if they could watch over your house, and then at least they know somebody should not be in by your
If you
house
have
looking around and stuff.
Yeah, but just don't even answer the door, because then have your TV on. That's one of the things they said. If they heard a TV in the background, they're not going to try to break in right then, because they know somebody's awake, somebody's up. They don't know who all's there. So they're just not even going to chance it. They want quiet, dark, empty, easy.
Yeah,
And most of them don't want to hurt anybody. They just want what's inside. So,
but then you get the crazies.
I mean, you don't know.
Yeah.
But we saw someone walking around our neighborhood this last fall that was with, I'm trying to remember it's a security, and they were saying they were from this security firm, but they weren't. We could tell they weren't, because it was young people. They had on just a regular t-shirt, Vivint, the Vivint company. They were claiming they were with Vivint, but they weren't. They didn't have the lanyard, which I've seen at Sam's Club when the legitimate people are doing it. They have a whole lanyard, the t-shirt, all that. They had the same color t-shirt and a clipboard, but they didn't have anything else. And they were just walking up and down the street all day.
Back and forth.
No vehicle they were in. It's like they were dropped off. And they're walking around, and there was some woman in our neighborhood, this is Colony West, she had put up a picture that she's trying to be, I mean, very trusting. One of them was a girl, and she had her in and gave her a plate of food and some water in her home. So now the girl, she has access to, she's in your home. I'm like, you don't know her, and they will use women or girls because you think, oh, they're not going to do anything. Yeah, but they're scoping out your place. She could take pictures the whole time she's there. She could have somebody come in, she could steal a key. She could do whatever, and
It's a lot she could do.
so don't invite people in and give them a plate of food if they're, I mean, I know we want to help people, but, have your boss provide that if you want it. But it was a guy walking up and down, and it was getting dark. And so we started to walk, he was walking towards us. So we walked towards him, and he kind of turned around away from us. And then we saw him another day, and he was walking down our street. I said, it's a little late, to be out doing this. And he said, oh, I'm waiting on my boss to pick me up. I don't know a lot of people who their boss that owns a company like that is going to come personally pick up each individual
Yeah, especially
person that's
later on
out.
at
And we
night.
saw the car, and it wasn't a company car. It was just a regular little sedan used. I think it was just a friend that picked him up. So you don't know 100%, but something seemed odd about it. And when a couple of people said that they answered the door and were like, no, I don't want what you have. I don't see any credentials. The person yelled back at him. So they're trying to be confrontational with some people. So you just got to be careful. Don't answer the door. If you don't know them, that's what I do. Same with my phone. If I don't recognize it, I'm not answering it. So same with the door. If I don't know you, you can leave a note. You can call me later, but I'm not going to take a chance of opening the door.
Okay, to continue on this a little bit, if on the off chance they do get in your house, are there any items in your house that could be used in self-defense that we might not normally think about? Like I may think, well, my TV is really big, but it's probably not practical to pick it up, one, because it's plugged in and connected to a lot of other stuff.
Take it off your wall.
But
Okay, well, I have.
what could be in your house that you could just,
Okay,
defend
I
yourself
just
with?
looked over and thought this. Okay, if you've seen one of these prop your door, like it's a good safety device for your door. So it goes under the doorknob, and it's a stopper. So it keeps the door shut, right? You could grab one of those and use this.
Yeah.
You can use it like you do a cane or a stick. I mean, it's hard. Somebody comes in, I'm ready to hit. You can hit them, pop in the throat.
I have these just sitting
Yeah.
around.
That they don't normally have. Nobody normally has all these. Our house, don't come into our house. It's not going to be fun if you make it in the front doors. But but I mean, it is good to have sticks or baseball bat. If you can buy one of those
Small
easy.
baseball bats.
I'll
small
tell you.
ones are really good for that because you don't have a lot of weight.
Okay, so you have hand weights. Hand weights are good. This will hurt if I hit you with this. So I mean, anything around you that you can see that you can hit, poke, stab, use it. Use anything you can. I mean, our tablets on a music stand, I'll pick that up and hit them with it. There's a woman that was in her 80s, I think, that last year there's an article about her. She used to train with Krav Maga, like way back in the day in the Israeli army. But she had come home, she'd gone grocery shopping, and a guy followed her right through her front door into her house. She took her metal table and hit him with the table. The leg came off. She started hitting him with the leg of the table. She
I didn't hear about that one.
squirted shampoo in his eyes from her shopping bag and blinded him and
works.
called the police. So use what you can. Hot coffee, I always have coffee. I'll put hot coffee in your face. Like, it's whatever it takes to get them just enough to stop and catch them off guard. Wasp spray is one of the best sprays to have because it goes in a stream and it shoots about 30 feet. So you pepper spray, I don't like it because
That
I'll
could
probably spray
fly.
myself.
Well, that could, if there's a wind blowing, it could blow right back in your face.
Or it's everywhere around you. If you're in your house, that stuff is going to be everywhere.
Yeah.
So you're going to be coughing and crying. Wasp spray is right at them, right in their face.
And it stays as the one stream.
It's a lot of self-defense instructors have recommended wasp spray, which it's also good for wasps. But so, I mean, we collect rocks. You could grab a rock, a paperweight, anything. I mean, you can look around any of the stuff that's on the mantle. I mean, you could crack a piece of glass that's in a picture frame. There's a weapon. You know, they're until, oh yeah, this is my Kubotan. You can get this at Bass Pro. So I walk around with it like this. So it comes out like this. It's titanium. So I can hit, I can stab, I can push away. I mean,
it takes a lot of pressure
Go
to
away.
close it, so it stays open.
yeah, it's
You
not.
you have to
it's
hit it
not
on the
going-
ground.
I have to hit it on the ground to
to
close it.
close it. So it's going to stay open for you. Plus, you've got the hand strap on it like that. So even if you fall down, it's still in your hand. Hit straight on, sideways, straight up, down, whichever.
Y'all will cover that in a whole class.
Oh
in the
yeah,
fall, because
We
I
can
just
do
am
that.
fascinated with that, and I didn't know where to get it or what it's called, and that's real new to me. I mean, other people may have heard of it. I just hadn't until recently. Bill Fulton gave the staff a small one, and I really didn't know what to do with it other than a
Right.
whistle.
you hit them with it.
That
Not very
whistle
high
works
tech.
too. That gets people's attention.
Yeah. But,
But-
yeah, I hope y'all will cover that more in the fall. That'd be
Oh, yeah,
interesting.
do
we
that.
can do a whole class on just what to use as a weapon and how to use it.
Right.
I mean, it's how to use, there's techniques you can rip if they're on the floor, because part of the techniques are if they have you on the floor, you're not always going to be standing up. They'll start standing up, but sometimes they push you down, and it's ways to get out of that. How you could use their t-shirt to choke them to get them off you. So, I mean, it's endless, the amount of things. Sometimes we discover things we didn't know that you could do that, and we just do it, and because we practice, because we're weird like that. But we just on a day, you know, we're like, we have pressure point tag. We play a game with each
Like
other.
getting a pressure point tag.
But there's pressure points. Here, I'll get 'em.
Well, you've got one right here, right between the thumb and the first
You could be
finger.
7 feet tall. It's gonna hurt them.
Yeah, right here you have a pressure point. Just hit it with the knuckle like that. That hurts. Right here, pressure point. You got a pressure point on both sides.
Because you know, like funny bone, like the
You're
feeling of your funny when you
right
hit your
in
funny
here.
bone. But they're everywhere. It works. No.
you could actually paralyze a person by hitting them under the armpit. If they're laying on the ground, you can hold them up, you kick them their armpit, they're gonna paralyze. This
You
is
can-
gonna paralyze them right there.
Because the nerve that goes through.
And it's
the-
all up and
the
down your
arteries
whole
and
body.
nerves.
You got all those pressure points. You got pressure points on the side of your
We know
neck,
that.
the nose right here. Just push them a palm to the nose does a lot of damage. Even sideways, does a
We
lot of,
don't recommend you hit front because that could kill someone. We don't want you to kill people. We just want, I mean, they're there with ill intent. So the biggest thing I can say as a woman is I know we tend to be like, I don't want to hurt anybody. I don't want to, I just want to do the minimum amount possible, get away. But they're there to hurt me. They don't care about me.
right,
If they end up killing me, sometimes they may just think, well, okay, that's what happened. They don't care. That's why they're doing that in the first place. So then I'm not going to care. I have to get in that frame of mind of I'm doing everything I can to get you off me. And if I end up breaking something, you shouldn't have attacked me.
yes,
So
you put it on them, because you're the one that wanted just.
I'm not doing anything wrong. So,
Yeah.
I'm defending myself.
Yeah,
But
to defend yourself, you have to be able to defend yourself.
okay, I think somebody was, Kathy, were you raising your hand or were you just stretching? Okay, it looked like you were going like that earlier, so I didn't know. Okay, does anybody else have any? Okay.
I can see how y'all were a good match together after that romantic first date.
Well, and it's
Of
funny
flipping
because,
Mark.
yeah, because I had to drop down, hit him, and then flip him over and walk off. So that was the thing. But I had only done it a few times. Like I didn't know.
And we were
I was
hitting,
nervous.
a wooden floor.
So we practiced on mats, so I was used to that. And one of the things he does when he falls is he hits his hand, smack your hand on the side.
I take the whole hit with my arm. That way my whole body doesn't get hit.
But
Right.
it's loud. Well, on the wooden floor, when everybody's watching in a huge ballroom,
And we had a basement underneath us too.
so I dropped him and he wanted to make it seem very scary. Like I thought I hurt him. Like the first
Yeah.
time. So I looked down and he's like, oh, and I go, oh no, I hurt him.
Everybody in the place,
It was silent.
it got silent. They go, oh.
I thought I like broke his back or something. I said, I messed up. And then he winked at me and I was like, that's right, stay down. So that's how we met.
Y'all are adorable.
Yeah.
Something else I was thinking maybe y'all could cover in the fall too is just, I always hope that if I was a bystander, that I would take action. And yet I wonder, how to safely help somebody without getting myself involved
Yeah,
and
Pick up
put
the
in
phone.
danger as well. Yes, obviously the phone is the best, but
well,
how maybe
last
some
semester-
scenarios.
when was it last semester? Fall, spring was the last time we did it. Our last class, I had brought up from my runner's magazine. I run a lot, and they had a whole section on, it applies to anyone that's outside pedestrian, but for how many women runners are accosted, talked down to, attacked because they're female by themselves. And it's pretty high rate. And it's how to defend yourself. And they have a whole section that we talked about on just that of if you're a bystander, how can you help people? Because you have a mentality, what tends to happen with psychology, we learn this is, there's a scenario where there's a courtyard and one person's being attacked and everybody assumes somebody else is calling, so they don't call. But if everybody thinks that, then nobody gets called. So it's the same kind of thing of people are like, oh, do I get in that? No, somebody else will, or maybe somebody else called, and then meanwhile, the person's getting attacked and beat up. If you can't physically do it, there's different, that's gonna be all touched on the class. But
Well, there's one thing you can do. I mean, if you don't want to physically get into the situation, stay away from them, but tell them, I am calling the police right now.
yeah, or I've called the
I've
police.
called the
That's what-
police, and I guarantee you, they get up and hightail it out of there.
Most of them do. And to say I'm on the phone with the police, because some girls have been like, I'll call the police. They're
And
not scared
that's-
about you gonna call the police. They'll just knock the phone out of your hand or
Yeah.
something like that. Or if you say, I'm about to call them, just say, I've called them already. They're on their way. Even if you haven't, just say they're on their way. So, for me, when I go out, you can't always depend on somebody else. I've fallen down before just on my own when I was running, just tripped and face planted. But I came up, I had blood down my arm, my knee, I'm limping. Everybody driving by, nobody stopped to see if I was okay. Nobody stopped to help. I'm hopping up the road, I'm like, thanks everybody. Like, great, That was in California. Here, probably somebody would have stopped, but I don't know. I can't count on that. So and that was with visible blood. Like they
Yeah.
don't know what happened to me. So I always have a cell phone with me, and I have his number pulled up. So if somebody, worst case scenario, comes up behind me and I can't, take time to even push anything, I push the button for his number so he can hear me. So even if the phone gets knocked out of my hand, I'm just going to start screaming, describe the person, where we are, so I'm going to trust for him to come out to me before anybody else. And I'll tell the person, you better run, because you might be able to hurt me, but it's not going to be pretty when he shows up, So I'm lucky with that. But what I would do is the same thing. Have some phones, I've seen about the Jitterbug phone. Like I want to get a Jitterbug phone because, the numbers are bigger for one, but also it has one button that's like a GPS red button that you push. And all you got to do is push that. It'll automatically call the police. It tells them exactly where you are. So that's a great one because you can just push it. And even if it gets knocked down, they're going to find you. We might bring your sister on. His sister has something on her phone that you can put in an emergency thing. We're on her call list that if she pushes one button, it will automatically record video and sound of whatever is happening. And it goes straight to our phone. So she has 911, the both of us and one other person. So we can see what's going on and call somebody else too, if she can't. So we'll bring her one of the days and she's the tech person. Obviously I'm not the tech person because I'm cutting my head off halfway through this. So, but we'll bring her in. We'll show some videos too that we have of different techniques of, specifically with Krav Maga and stuff like that anybody can do. It sounds scary. Cage fighting sounds scary. Mixed martial arts sounds scary, but anybody can do it.
It's a safe sport. It is. It's more safer than boxing and even soccer, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, we're not expecting a cage fight,
Yeah.
but this is just basic self-defense. We can show some kick time.
We
So-
have 5 minutes.
No, we don't. We have like 20 minutes.
Oh, okay.
You
Well,
want it?
I thought it was
Okay,
45
so
minutes.
do you want to hold the mix?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So yes, okay.
Gretchen
So,
is right.
okay,
We just go to 10:45. So
Oh, we do have 5 minutes. You're
That's
right.
okay.
Oh man. Okay.
Well, you do a couple punches.
Okay, so part of what we show is, and this, you could look at this as just exercise if you want, but it's most people when they hit will see like
Holding your thumb in.
in
break
like
your
this,
thumb, break
not
your
a good
thumb.
way, but you'd be amazed how many people are like, okay, just break yourself. So you want to have your hand where it's here. Your thumb is tucked.
The thumb is.
You don't want your thumb
holding
here
all the fingers.
because this
in a
will
nice-
break if you do like this. It'll hurt. Exactly. Yeah. Okay, so you always want to have your hands ready to protect yourself because though if they want to come to your face, you don't want your hand down. You'll see a lot of taekwondo when they end up punching. I don't know why they bring their hand back here, but now all of this is completely exposed. So you want to really be where you can block somebody. So here we'll do. So that's more of a cross, I guess. So this is a cross. And I'm not really using all my force. But it's gonna, okay, so now jab. So jab, so then that was a cross. So jab is where it's the same side. So this is a slow.
Oh, you didn't hear.
Oh, I know I didn't tell you I was gonna do it. I'm not gonna tell an attacker I'm gonna do it. So now we have a hook. So these are just 3 of them. So
Oh, it's in this way too.
we're
Not that
we're having to learn video. So
Turn yourself this
How
way.
do you want me to do it?
This way.
So what you're doing with the hook is you want to turn in, back up a little bit. So if you want to look at like how my body turns, instead of just doing just my arm, because that's just my arm, I turn my whole body. Because now your whole body is turning and giving all that power to this.
It's the weight of the arm as opposed to the weight of your whole body coming into
So
the
it's
punch.
this, and it's how far you can go. So you can either go here, or you can go all the way through. And that's what you want to go through, not just barely touch. You want to go through. Not that you're going to be like bar fighting or anything, but it's good so you don't hurt yourself. You don't want to hurt yourself in the process. But there's tons of punches, tons of kicks, different ways to get out of different scenarios. So that's going to be what you'll be learning in 8 short weeks, because it feels short because there's so much to learn. But hopefully spring, maybe summer next year, we'll have in person again, because you can feel that vibe when you're in person. You get to practice with each other. So I don't know how many of you have somebody that would either be willing to work with you or that you can actually work with. You can watch the recordings again. So if somebody does come over, I don't know if they want to, because they grab my wrist, they might be hesitant and they're like, let me try this out on you. But it's good for anybody to learn. So teach other friends, tell other people,
Get
anything you
together
learn.
with some friends and play around with it.
Well, it's a very, there's some very serious subjects that y'all cover, but you make it engaging and doable, and y'all are so fun and approachable that we just appreciate you guys showing us, from your own experience and for your own techniques. I look forward to the class in the fall. This recording of this class, which is just our introductory, can be seen on our website. It actually takes you to a YouTube video of this class and on our Facebook page, because we're live on the Life Quest of Arkansas Facebook page. So if you guys have friends and family in state or out that would like to see a little preview of this class, as well as any of our classes that we've had this summer, those are all on our website, lifequestofarkansas.org, and on the Life Quest of Arkansas Facebook page. So they can register for the fall and take classes whether they're in Arkansas or not. And that's pretty neat. We're excited about that opportunity.
And someone, I think Gina mentioned, you can do, if you have a smart TV, I guess you can pull it up on your big screen TV. So if you want something bigger to practice alongside and mimic, then you can do that. I think they do that for the yoga classes, or they will be doing that for the yoga classes.
Yeah, we'll have yoga and Tai Chi online. So we're zooming along here at Life Quest into the virtual unknown territory of online learning. So,
Leah, aren't you a certified Zumba instructor now?
Well, I am certified in one particular class, and I've never taught one class, but I got certified just to do it. I know, right? I should do Zumba for Life Quest.
I'll take it.
Don't give them any ideas. Don't give them any ideas.
I'll write in. I'll put in a request.
Thanks. Thank you guys for being with us today. We enjoyed you as always. Our most fun self-defense couple.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Thanks everybody for coming in to the Zoom. Share with your friends, and we'll see you in the fall.
Awesome.
Okay.
Okay. Bye.